Hey guys, so today's video is going to be another makeup stash video. I told you guys in my last makeup stash video that that my next one would be on high-end blushes. My last one was on foundations, but the one before that, it was on my drugstore blush collection. So if you're not into high-end blushes and you haven't seen that one, then check out my drugstore blush collection. So let's go ahead and get started because I have a lot of high-end blushes. I think I have more high-end blushes than I do drugstore. I'm gonna start with my MAC ones because I have the most. It's a mineralized skin finish, but this is in the shade Cheeky Bronze. I use it as a blush though because this is too dark to be a highlight, but this is such a beautiful rose gold blush for me. And because it is a mineralized skin finish, it's not super opaque, so it doesn't go on like a full-on blush. I like using it as a blush topper, or like on a regular day in the summer when I don't want too much blush, I just like dust this on my cheeks, which you guys know I don't pack on the blush ever. Like I don't pack it on. Okay, this one I got at a CCO. If you don't know what a CCO is, it stands for Cosmetic Company Outlet. They're usually like at premium outlet malls. The closest one to me is the one in Orlando, and they have discounted makeup there, and all of the makeup that's there is usually discontinued. So I picked this up there and I love this blush, but I don't really use it on camera because it is discontinued. It's called Full of Joy, and I like it because it's scary looking, but it swatches so much lighter than what it looks. Like it almost swatches like an iridescence, which I like. I like how it looks on the cheeks because it gives it like a soft purple angelic glow. This is technically a blush, so that's why I'm including it in this video. But this is called Harmony. I use this as a contouring powder or as a, I have 5 seconds to be at that place. I don't have time to bronze and put on blush. I'm gonna throw this on. This is my third Harmony blush. I have been using this since I was 16. I didn't start wearing makeup till like 18 years old, but I always wore mascara, a lipstick, and this. That's all I did. This is Margin, and it's probably one of my favorite MAC blushes of all time. This is so pretty in the summertime. Honestly, like this is the kind of blush that you could really pack on your face and it doesn't look ugly. Like it doesn't look too much. It's a good one. If you haven't tried Margin, just go to MAC, swatch it on the back of your hand. It doesn't swatch as pretty as it applies, but this one is Spring Sheen. This is one of my first blushes ever. This blush is intense. This is really intense. Like you can get really heavy-handed with this real fast. But it's a nice summer blush as well. I really recommend it, especially for this time of year. Spring Sheen reminds me a lot of NARS Orgasm, but I don't like Orgasm. I think I'm the only person in the world who does not like NARS's Orgasm blush. It's too sparkly. Like there's something about it that I don't like. It feels almost chunky. Comment below if you don't like NARS Orgasm either. Comment below. This blush is called Melba, and if you have been a subscriber of mine since I started my channel, I'm talking like OG videos, OG subscriber. This was my favorite blush in the history of life. Like it was in my must-have makeup products of all time. And I don't use it as much, but look at the color. It's such a nice color. This is the perfect everyday blush. For some reason, I don't use it as much anymore because I used to love matte blushes. I used to be so into them. And now I'm kind of into the more glowy blush. This one is called Cubic, and I've never used this on my channel because I just recently got it. And I wanted a blush that would look great for looks like this or a cool tone looks. Like I'm very cool tone today, but like a very cool tone makeup look. I wanted the perfect blush to pair with it. So I wanted something that was not too intense, not too brown, not too purple, something like in the middle. Cubic by MAC. It's a good one. This blush is awesome. I wore this on Mother's Day. I wore this like that Mother's Day weekend. I wore it like all week. I had like an obsession with this. This is called Trace Gold. I don't know if I said that already. It's pretty much a gold blush, but it makes your face Jennifer Lopez. You put this on and you're like, oh, look at that, I'm Jennifer Lopez now. It's amazing. I love Trace Gold. I feel like I could have done like a MAC video all on its own. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention my Makeup Geek blushes in my drugstore blush video. And I didn't mention it because technically it's not a drugstore blush, but they're $10, so they're cheaper than the average blush. But I'm not going to include it in this video either. I have an entire video, I have two actually, entire videos dedicated to Makeup Geek and all my favorite things. And I show you guys the blushes. I own all the Makeup Geek blushes and I love them. They're one of my favorite blushes ever, but I keep them with my palettes. I don't keep them in my blush drawer, so sometimes I don't even remember that I have them. I need to bring them over here to my blush drawer because I love them. They're great. So yeah, I won't be talking about them in this video, but know that I own them all and that they are fantastic, all of them. This blush is called New Romance and it's one of their mineralized blushes. I love the mineralized blush line because they're like baked products and they look just really pretty on the skin. They kind of look like second skin. They don't look powdery on the face. It honestly is a highlight more than anything, but on my skin tone it's a nice, super intensely glowy, peachy blush. Okay, and this one is probably my other favorite blush ever. It's another mineralized blush and it's called Warm Soul, which I'm sure you guys have seen because it's a very popular blush from MAC and for a good reason. This blush looks good with everything. It even looks good with like cool tone makeup, warm tone. This blush looks amazing. It's amazing. If you don't own Warm Soul, out of all the MAC blushes I spoke about, Warm Soul. Get Warm Soul. Get it. I have two blushes by The Balm. I have this one in Hot Mama, which honestly, this one is probably an even better dupe for NARS Orgasm without the chunkiness to it. It's such a pretty pinky, goldy, peachy shade. And then I have this one that I've spoken about in a recent favorites video. This is called Balm Desert. I honestly use this as a bronzer because it is targeted as a bronzer slash blush, which is why I'm talking about it in this video because I have it in my blush drawer. But I use it the same way I use MAC's Harmony. The same exact way. So I really love this one too, and I think that on my skin this one lasts even longer than Harmony. I have 3 of the Clinique Cheek Pop blush pops. This one is a new one that I just recently picked up. This is called Pansy Pop. Honestly, these have become like one of my favorite formulations of blushes ever. I wanted to get Pansy Pop because I don't really use blushes like this. At least you guys know. Like, do I ever wear blushes like this? No, not really, but this looked like such a pretty blush. Reminds me a lot of Full of Joy, actually, but actually, okay, no, scratch that. They're not similar at all. These almost feel like a gel consistency. It's so crazy. They're powder, but they feel creamy almost, and they look fantastic on the skin. This is my favorite one. This one is Nude Pop. I wore the shees out of this when I first got it. It's a really good one. I even love the packaging. They're just like acrylic and pretty. And then this one is Melon Pop. It's a nice peachy color. Perfect for the summertime. These are the new Too Faced Love Flush long-lasting 16-hour blushes. They came out with 6, but I only have 4. I gave one to my sister and one to my friend Gabby. Those were like a little too dark for me. But I have this one in Love Hangover. It's a really pretty everyday pink color. This one is called Justify My Love, and it's a purple color, but it's not too intense on the face, which I really like it. And then these two are my favorites. I spoke about them in my favorites video. This one is called I Will Always Love You. It's the one I've used the most. It's a peachy, beautiful. I love it. And then this one is Baby Love, which is, I think this would be a lot of people's favorites because it's a nude blush, like a straight up nude blush. So it pairs well with everything. I have 2 Benefit boxed powders, and honestly I never use these and I'm so upset because they're so good. You know what I think throws me off is the packaging. I know people love the packaging on this, but does anybody else agree that it's like a box, like a bogey, like a bulky box? I don't know. I'm like big on packaging, which is really stupid. The product should matter most. But anyway, I have Benefit's Dallas, and this is a really beautiful blush because it works the same way as MAC Harmony and the Balm Desert. And I really love those kind of things that are bronzers, but then they double as blush because of that mauve-y kind of undertone. It's so pretty and I rarely ever wear it. By the way, if you're wondering what's on my lips, because I already had posted this tutorial but I was wearing a different lip, I will have it down below because I changed my lip color, but just in case you were wondering. And then I have Rockateur, which is probably my favorite one out of all of the Benefit box blushes. You can tell I've used it. I don't know if you could tell, but I used it a lot when I first got it. It's a beautiful rose gold, like it's a pure rose gold, but I only love wearing this when I have like a tan like I do now. It looks stunning with a tan. Oh, I forgot to show this when I was talking about the balm. This is the Cindy Luminizer. This is technically like a highlight, but on me, it's very much a blush. Even though it doesn't, I mean, now with my tan, it's probably a highlight. But when I'm really, really fair, this is a beautiful peachy blush. But now, this would be a really pretty highlight. It's beautiful. Oh! If you guys saw my high-end products, my favorite high-end products of all time, I spoke about this product. It's one of my favorite makeup items ever, and I don't really use it on camera. I mean, I only use this in the summertime. It's one of my favorite items I own, the Cindy Luminizer. I like it better than the Mary Luminizer, but it is beautiful. It's like a peach glow, but I have a lot of peachy glowy things, as I mentioned earlier, but this makes my skin glow like no other. I have 4 of the new Urban Decay, what was that word? Urban Decay Afterglow 8-Hour Blushes. I have 2 that I purchased myself, and then Urban Decay actually sent me 2 of them. But these are the 2 that I purchased myself. This is the first one I got. This is in the shade Fetish. It's a really pretty mauve color. Goes really well with everything. I like that it's not too intense, not too pigmented. Those are my favorite kind of blushes. This has the prettiest packaging on a blush I've ever seen. I love it. And then I bought this one. This is Indecent because, I mean, it looked like my kind of blush. A freaking peach. Are you surprised? Because I'm not. It's matte, which usually a lot of my peach blushes are like glowy, so I wanted like a matte peach blush, and it's pretty. I like it. And then Urban Decay sent me these 2. This one is called Obsessed. It's a cool tone purpley pink. I don't typically go for these colors, but it's really pretty. Like, this would look really nice. And then they sent me this one, which I'm so afraid of. Like, I don't know. I didn't want to give this away to my sister because I want to try it. I want to see how it looks on me. This one is in the shade Rapture, and I feel like this would be beautiful on dark skin tones. But this is like a berry color, and I don't know if this would even look good on me. What do you think? Too dark for me? I don't know. I have 2 NARS blushes. This one is in the shade Luster. This one is gorgeous. I feel like I've held up like 10 blushes that look just like this. This is like a peach with a lot of gold shimmer in it, but it's not like chunky orgasm-y shimmer. And then this bad boy. I take this with me every time I go on vacation. I took it with me to LA when I was there. This is in the shade Madly. This is my favorite blush of all time. I have a crap ton of blushes. This is my favorite blush ever, ever, ever. I've spoken about this a million times. You probably know. This is Madly. It's described as a seashell pink, and I get that vibe. It reminds me of a goddess walking on the beach with flowers in her hair and like a big seashell necklace, talking about life's mysteries, wearing this blush. If you don't have Madly, what are you doing? It swatches ugly. Like, when I swatched it for the first time, I was like, oh, this is nothing. But it applies to the face beautifully. Okay, so I have Galactic blushes. And I never wear these on camera, but one of them I actually wear all the time. Okay, so they're like this. They're little. They're very small blushes. This is in the shade Naples. This is the one that I've worn a bunch of times. It's almost like a highlight, but it's not. I mean, it is definitely for a lot of skin tones. This is a highlight. I like it because it gives my cheeks that extra glow whenever like something is like too matte on my face. I like to pop this on my cheeks. It's a soft pink, but it's pretty. These are just a tiny bit powdery, but because they're very, very pigmented. They don't look powdery on the skin. Like, when you apply it to your face, it doesn't look powdery, but when you're like swatching them, they're not like buttery, but they're very pigmented. So this one is called Florence, and this one is like a matte peach pink. You can never go wrong with these. They look really nice paired with a lot of different looks. I like that they're really little because they're easy to travel with. And then this one is in the style Milan. It's a really pretty cool tone purple with a little bit of mauve in it. I have 2 Charlotte Tilbury blushes, and okay, if you guys don't know, let me tell you a little secret. It's not really a secret, but there are some brands, I know that you guys feel the same way. There are some brands out there that were like, everything that company comes out with, you're like, that's mine, I love it, I will buy it. Mine is Too Faced. Like, that's how I feel about Too Faced. They're my favorite high-end brand, but Charlotte Tilbury makes me weak in the knees. I have tried YSL products. I'm not crazy about them. Dior, whatever, I'm not crazy about them. I'm not crazy about Giorgio Armani. Like, I'm not. Charlotte Tilbury makes me weak in the knees. It's such a pricey brand, but to me, that brand is worth the money. I love the packaging. I love the woman herself. I follow her on YouTube, Charlotte Tilbury. It's just whatever. Anyway, so I have 2 Charlotte Tilbury blushes, and they're super pricey, but I think they are worth the money. This one is called First Love, which I love this one. This is my favorite one out of the 2. This is what it looks like. It looks like a freaking nipple. I mean, it looks like a tit. It's weird. But the idea behind this is they are swish and pop blushers. So you're supposed to like swish it around and then pop it in the center. Does that make sense? You get your brush and you're like, vroom, pop, and then apply it to your cheeks like that. But I swish. I don't pop. I just like swish around the whole thing. I swish all over this boob. So this one is First Love. I like it because it's very soft. I like very soft blushes, if you can't tell. And it just goes well with everything. I love the packaging. Some people say it looks like vieja. And I love it. It's vintage to me. I love it. And then this one is called Ecstasy. This one is gorgeous in the summertime too. It's like a coral. It's a really, really beautiful coral blush. I have from Sephora. They are their Micro Smooth blushes. This one is in the shade Tea Rose Tickle. It's a really pretty mauve. That's all there is to it. It's a nice mauve, but it has a nice sheen to it. These Micro Smooth blushes are so pretty and they're so underrated. But this one is a beautiful mauve that gives your cheeks a nice glow. And then this one is called Tangerine Tease. This is so beautiful. You have one side that's like a more red orange, and then this one is a more peachy orange. So mixed together, it gives you a beautiful orangey, luminous, delicious popsicle looking blush. So pretty in the spring and summer. I only have one Becca blush because, okay, while I absolutely love the Becca highlights, their blushes can get intense real quick. I have Wild Honey, and I do want Songbird. I just don't own it yet, but I have Wild Honey. They look just like their highlighters, only smaller. Look how beautiful that color is. Oh my god, you could tell. This is one of my top 5 favorite blushes ever, but it's so pigmented. You need a very, not that this color is pigmented. The formula of these are pigmented. Like, you barely touch this with a brush and it's insane, which is a good thing or a bad thing. You just have, you need a very light hand. But I mean, look at this color. Could you just like melt in this color? It's so pretty. Okay, and then the last 4 blushes I have to share with you guys are Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes. If you haven't tried any of the Tarte blushes, they're amazing. They claim to be 12-hour blushes, and who knows? I believe it because they stay on my face like no other. Like, these blushes last forever. I have this one in Exposed. It's their mauve nude one. It's a mauve. It looks really, really beautiful in the winter time. I love this blush in the winter. It's literally the blush I wear the most. I have this one on my cheeks right now. This is called Celebrated. But as you can see, it has like a weird packaging because this came out with their like tartlet set. And I don't know, they need to make this permanent. Why would they bring out a blush this beautiful and then take it away from us? I don't understand. It's such a pretty cool toned, like light rosy nude. This looks really similar to Makeup Geek's Spellbound. So if you didn't get a chance to get this, get Spellbound from Makeup Geek because they are very similar. This is a little bit lighter. And then I have this one, which I think this is pretty new because I just recently got it and I hadn't seen it before. So I don't know if this is limited edition, but I know it's still available. This is in the shade Energy. If you are familiar with Tarte, you know that they have like the Energy lip gloss, the Energy like chubby stick. It's supposed to like change with your skin, like you put on the lip gloss and it gets pinkier or whatever. This is what it looks like. Oh my god. Okay, no, they're different. Okay. Yeah, this one is a lot more pink. It's like a baby doll pink, basically. Okay guys, so those were all my high-end blushes. I have so many blushes. If you have a favorite blush that I don't have here, a high-end blush that you absolutely love that I don't have, let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.